Dads. Adventures in Collecting is about toys, but it might not be for your children, especially if you don't like words like f*** or sh** or hole.
Are you ready, kids? Get your parents' permission, check your mailbox, and grab your shopping cart. It's time for the Adventures in Collecting podcast.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Dave. Welcome to Adventures in Collecting, where we talk toy news, culture, and hauls,
along with our journeys as collectors. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Adventures in Collecting.
Hey, everybody. We're back, and we are not alone.
We are not alone. We have a guest that he's traveled a really long way to be here, Dave.
Tom DeLong was correct.
Yes. Yes, and there are documents that will been undisclosed for a while that are now out in the open and
unredacted items.
Unredacted. You may remember.
I might have just made that up.
I you know what? Redacted or unredacted. It's poetic license, yeah. Dave. You're doing great. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
Well, you may remember our guest from an earlier episode of this podcast, going back to our early days. One of our first guests, actually. And you may also know him from his travels on the Saurian 2 to far off reaches of the galaxy, like NWA Power. He will be landing with his tag team partner BHK at Raise the Bar Wrestling at the Glass House in Pomona, California on October 14th. Welcome back to Adventures in Collecting, our friend, Yuma.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back.
This is my favorite kind of adventure, you know? Space is cool and all, but Adventures in Collecting, I've been doing that a lot longer than I've been battling through outer space and independent pro wrestling, so this is my favorite kind of adventure.
Yeah, no having to worry about altitudes or orientations in the vacuum of space, or
and I almost never have to fight. Almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to jump off the top rope on us tonight. It's fine.
No.
I mean, you're welcome to. We'll take the bump, but
you know what? I'm not really a top rope guy. If you were to watch every match I've ever had, I've probably come off the top rope less than 20 times in 14 years.
Listen, that meme you've been in would say otherwise, though.
Dude, the one that my friend Ami Morgor, she was a photographer back when I did CZW, and she made a GIF of me like throwing up me flipping out of my own mouth like repeatedly. It's the best. I'm gonna post it on Twitter right now and tag you guys.
Please do. We'll definitely retweet it. Oh man. So before we kind of jump into the bulk of the episode here, it's been a while since we've chatted. So why don't you give us an update? What are you currently collecting?
You know, I've really gotten into the 3 3/4 Fortnite figures, or the 4-inch Fortnite figures. I was, again, like anyone who follows me on Twitter, like I avoided that game forever. It just seemed dumb. But I also, I just was never really into shooters. So that's probably what put me off it more than anything. And then last year they added Mandalorian, so of course I was like, "Well, who knows if we'll ever get a Mando game? I gotta play this." So I did a little $8 battle pass. I got Mando, and I was just, as soon as I unlocked Man Cake, Pancake Cowboy, I was like, I'm hooked. This is easily in my top 10 favorite video games of all time, and I play it all the time. And they have an amazing toy line that's only going to get cooler because Hasbro took the 6-inch from Jazzwares. And they're looking pretty good, but I don't mess with 6-inch. But the 4-inch figures are going to be pushed harder by Jazzwares. There's some new ones coming out at Walmart, like new packaging and stuff for the same scale. But there's also apparently mask-style 2-inch figures coming with an emphasis on playsets and vehicles. And I cannot wait.
Yeah, we are super excited for that line too.
In fact, I think you're the one who let me know about it, and I looked deeper into it, and I'm just like, that better happen, or I'm gonna cry publicly.
So we've had Fortnite line designer Mike DeCamp has been on the show before. He's a good friend of ours, and he is an amazing person, and he is also a steel trap. He does
Yeah,
not
well,
let
as he should be.
he does not let anything out. But we do know that they are like actively working. Again, have not seen anything. Just outside of that press release announcing that it's coming and kind of poking him, being like, Mike, do you have anything yet? And he's just like, it's gonna be cool.
That's all you need to hear. Because
Yeah.
if the designer thinks it's cool, and the designer's just a dude like us, then it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And they had me at Mask, so
Yeah, I mean, for me, the smaller the better. Like, I love the Star Wars mission fleet line. I'm pretty caught up on it right now because I've yet to see the new Moff Gideon or Bo-Katan or any of those. I haven't seen those on shelves yet, but like, I love that line. The Bad Batch, like, their only figures other than the Black Series are in the mission fleet line. They come together like in a 4-pack. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like that, I love that. And so if toys are going to get smaller, I'm not complaining. I don't have to worry about my son. He's a big boy. He doesn't put toys in his mouth and choke. So the smaller the better, as far as I'm concerned, because my shelf space is getting, boy, it's tight.
I hear you.
yeah. So speaking of LB and the blind box favorites and his blind finds,
Oh, yeah.
what are your latest blind box favorites?
You know what? Unfortunately, we haven't done much because there hasn't really been anything. There are some Treasure X toys out right now that have my attention. I've always kind of dug them. They did the alien ones that I thought were really cool. That you could dissect that big one. But they were just kind of expensive, in my opinion, for what you really get at the end. But they have some little like $3 or $4 ones at Five Below, and it's a coffin with the sand and junk inside. And then they have like really cool like monster themed guys right now. There's like a pumpkin, a Frankenstein, like a mummy, ghoul. So, and you don't know who you're going to get, and you got to dig to get them. So we might do those. Those kind of caught my eye because he's really into Hotel Transylvania right now. He gets into monster moods just like the rest of us when it's getting close to Halloween. But the real thing I've been looking for are the Shang-Chi minis that come in like a block that you karate chop.
Yeah, I saw those. I haven't seen them in person yet, though.
No, I've only seen, apparently the only people that I know that have found them at Toys R Us in Canada. They haven't hit anywhere in the States.
Interesting.
And I haven't even seen the movie yet because my schedule has been insane lately, which is really frustrating because I really want to see it. But, the minis didn't spoil anything, and I really want the, the Death Dealer?
Death Dealer, yeah.
Yeah, the Death Dealer mini's freaking hard, and so it comes with like a star that's painted, and then 2 translucent baddies, and one of those little like headless flying things, or one of many little other animals throughout the movie. So it's like you get 4 minis in that karate chop block, and you get to break it with your hand, like it's cool. And I really want them, and for whatever reason, they just have not dropped.
Morris, everyone's favorite faceless, buttless, flying.
Yes, it just looks like a butt. It just looks like a dog's butt.
It's amazing. It came. I collect the Marvel Legends, and it came with Aquafina's character with Katie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
it came with like a decent sized one, right?
Oh, it's my favorite accessory I think that's ever come with any Marvel. And I haven't seen the film yet either. So like,
Yeah, me neither.
opening up the box,
Okay,
I was just
okay.
like, "What is this thing?" Like I didn't know which way to pose it. Like which way is the front? I was like,
And it looks even stranger as a mini, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm just seeing these minis now, and I think they're like I wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 of them just to see what's in there.
They really remind me of the 2004 Ultimate Muscle minis. I mean, those were more so, muscle, scale, and style. But a lot of them were really posed, like kneeling and stuff like that. And it reminds me of these, the way they're painted, and some of them weren't. Like that mix of painted and translucent. That Ultimate Muscle line was like that. It was by Bandai, I believe. And that's a line I passed on completely and I regret very deeply. And these remind me of that. And I think that's why I want them so bad.
Well, every now and then Hasbro does like these low key, kind of blind box experiences. Like I had no idea that they had come out until I was wandering in Five Below, and they had the Deadpool chimichangas with the little blind Deadpool figures in them, and those were amazing.
Those were there's one. I mean, they were mass release, but those were like at Box Lunch and Hot Topic, like more boutique stores had those. I never saw them at a Target or a Walmart. I always saw them there, and then when they were done there, I saw them at Five Below too, and 99-cent store.
Yeah.
And those were really cool, especially at the night for 99 cents because they were cheaper there than at Five Below. It's a really good deal, really cool toys.
Yeah, I think Five Below was charging $250 per go for them, but I grabbed a couple and
So
like
cool though.
yeah, it was great. Like I got 3 different ones. I got like one is like Deadpool sitting on a brain, and you can put he's got like a taco and a chimichanga you can skewer on his swords.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I got 2 different pirate Deadpools. So like one was in like the X-Force, gray gear, and the other was in the red. But yeah, really really cool designs, and like they had like one of the options was like Squirrel Pool. There was like Santa Deadpool.
Oh, there was like a big panda one too, right?
Yep. There was Panda Pool.
Oh, I'm assuming it's just a word and then pool.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works with him.
You know what? That reminds me of something about Deadpool because I don't know much about him. I'm not like a big fan or anything. I actually didn't really like the first movie, but I don't think I gave it a fair chance. But I just got the Hit Monkey that came with the that deluxe Deadpool pack. I got the Hit Monkey loose somewhere at a toy shop in San Diego, and I saw a trailer today for his new Hulu cartoon, so I'm pretty hyped on that.
Yeah.
The Hit Monkey and like the Miami Vice suit.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah. It came with all his little guns and everything. I got a good deal on him too.
It's a perfect pickup for Mondape.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
of course. You know me. If it's an ape or a monkey, I need I need it.
Now, I haven't even. Did you get the Ghostbusters, the mini puffs, and the
Yeah, we got 3 of them, and we got lucky. We got all 3 were different. I opened it. We did LB's blind finds with that, and that was the last blind finds we did actually, and it was the most miserable, terrible, disgusting experience I've ever had with any toy, any slime product. I was like genuinely like pissed off. I don't like being wet. I don't like having stuff on me. Like I just have weird like sensory issues with that. And I was fucking pissed. It was like it would not get off my hands. We thought water would help, and it made it 1,000 times worse. Like if you go watch the video on Instagram, it's bad. I'm like really getting frustrated, and it's like gross. I was like, what were they thinking?
So
like
these are the marshmallow ones, right?
Yeah, they're going for a melted marshmallow vibe, but like they missed the mark completely. And it says like and the cups are awesome. What I ended up doing is I left the cups in the garage because when it dried, it peels off like silicone.
Okay.
But when you touch it, it has the texture, from making molds, it feels exactly like uncured silicone. Like there's whatever it is, there's an imbalance to where it never fully cured, and that's why it's loose and sticky the way it is. It was miserable. There's this clay that Crayola makes called Model Magic, and it's like this soft white foam that you sculpt with. That is what should have been in there. Because that feels like a marshmallow. This felt like misery. I was ugh.
Well, I saw them in GameStop the other day, and I with my girlfriend, and we were like, I don't know, should we get them? And I'm like, I feel like this is gonna be awful. Like,
and usually they're not. Those little slime toys, like the Venom ones, like they're usually not a hassle at all. The slime rolls right off the sealed plastic, like of the figure, like no problem. I don't know what they were thinking. I was mad. I was genuinely like, this was bad. And like, if a kid opened that in his room, it would legitimately ruin like fabric and like their bedding. Like I was like, this sucks. They messed up on this one.
And I think Ghostbusters, they have a second like slimy blind box product out right now too, where like you're supposed to take the ghost and like crush it in your hand, and
that's tight.
And the slime like explodes out of it, and then there's like a Slimer or another like ghost like on the inside.
I gotta look that up. I have not seen that at all.
Yeah, I mean that sounds fun.
Ghostbusters slime toy. That one sounds way more fun.
Yeah, and that looked like the video that I had seen of the unboxing of that looked more like it was just it still made like a mess because it's exploding slime at that point. But
Oh hell yeah, Ghost Gushers.
Ghost Gushers, that's it. Yep. That's
Okay, those are packed and presented almost identical to the Maximum Venom ones.
Yeah.
So that stuff rolls right off the. It's the same concept. That's tight. I haven't seen those.
So I haven't. I've only seen the Stay Puft ones, and I'm the same way. I can't stand like sticky, wet. No, like I don't want it on my hands.
Oh man, and the little prizes inside these are pretty cool, man.
Yeah, this looks cool.
You get the new one. What's his name? Nibbler. And then there's a couple Stay Puft and Slimer variations. The big dog thing, whose name I can't remember.
The Sentry Terror Dog, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Stay Puft, Slimer, we know those, and then freaking
Sentry Terror Dog.
Sentry Terror Dog.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
What a fun name.
Yeah, you know what? They've focused the kid level marketing at the mini puffs. That's
true.
Yeah.
That's
true.
the target of the.
It worked. My son Albie just that commercial with them and stuff with Paul Rudd, like, and my wife, all of us were like, we're suckers because that is great. We need them.
Yep.
It's amazing how well Baby works on us. You know, it started with Baby Groot and Baby Yoda and Baby Stay Puft, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is." And that even I like the Baby Mr. Peanut that came out, and then the pandemic started, and everyone blamed him.
It is Mr. Peanut's fault.
It is. It is, and that's why I wish Peter Avalon would have whooped his ass. They're building towards a match. The hype was there. And Mr. Peanut died and was reincarnated as a baby, and Peter didn't think that was a fair match, so he backed down.
Listen, I hear Peanuts age very quickly, so maybe maybe he'll
He's probably ready
chance.
by now.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, he's ready. But it's Peter.
I would be.
Yes, I think he is. He's pretty jacked. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be more worried about teenage Peanut than.
That's true, because he'd be like teenage Groot at this point.
Yeah, he's just kind of like angsty, and he'd probably just
angsty and indifferent and wants to play video games.
He just gets his ass whooped and just cries about it.
He'd kick Pete in the shins. It would.
I'm just picturing him holding the little Game Boy like Teen Groot.
Oh man. So we were talking about some of the blind stuff, and you mentioned that you had picked up the loose hit monkey. Have you been picking up anything else lately? Any other fun finds that you've had?
Yeah, I mean, I found Kang loose at a toy show right up the street. What else did I score there? The first time I went to that toy show pop up kind of thing, I scored a ton of great Kenner Terminator, great condition, just like for pennies. Like I scored so fat, I was so stoked. I got that loose Secret Wars Kang. What else? My favorite like in-store thing recently was the Tomato Town Legends 4-pack.
Yeah.
From Fortnite. Oh man, that I was so stoked on that because like my favorite characters are like the fast food ones. And in playing Fortnite, I bought Gut Bomb the second I saw him. I was like, wait a minute, there's like a bad dead version of the burger guy. Like that was like some of my earliest like weeks of playing was discovering these like parallels and then immediately thinking like, wow, that's toyetic. I want that. I really want that as a toy. And then I'm just at Target one day and all four of them are Guaco, the freaking dead tomato. I forget his name. It's not clever. Gut Bomb and then Debrat. And he came with like glasses, removable hat. Like he's great. It's such a good 4-pack.
Yeah,
great value too.
Yeah, the 6-inch brat is one of my it's one of my favorite ones because it's just like
I've almost bought that even though I don't collect 6-inch just because it is such a freaking picture perfect toy.
Yeah, it's just a giant and not only is it a giant hot dog, but like the bun comes off and like and his hat is like you can have him wearing the hat forward, you can have him do like sideways hat. I think the first picture I took of him when I got him out of the box was like of him breakdancing because I just. The idea of like a breakdancing hot dog made me laugh.
Well, I think as soon as I remember seeing him get added to Fortnite, like just seeing it on like Instagram Explorer, like way before I played, because that character is relatively old.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, did they put the Snapchat dancing hot dog in the video game? And like that had to be the inspiration. because it was around that time, you know,
Yeah.
and they could pop a skin in there in like a day if they need to.
Yeah, it is pretty quick turnaround with that stuff. And I mean it's kind of incredible, like they have such a wide array of skins to choose from, and they do such a
The
good job.
universe is enormous.
Oh yeah. But they do such a good job at like making the ones that really are like toyetic. Like even in the granted the 6-inch scale for for Jazzwares is going away, the legendary series, but like these last couple that they're putting out as their kind of.
But yeah, they went all out.
Oh,
They're like, this is like the Pirates new, right?
yep, I just picked him up. Unbelievable.
So you know what's weird? I saw that entire new wave for like $9 at Ross.
Really?
And I didn't realize that was the final wave because they were at Ross.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh, these are sick. I haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, we don't have really good, like where we are in Jersey, we don't have good like like when people post the pictures of like Ollie's and
Oh, dude, I'm so
Ross.
jealous of Ollie's finds. And Ross can
Yeah.
be good, but it's nothing like those Ollie's pictures. I get jealous.
Yeah, we don't have an Ollie's near us.
No.
And we
Nothing-
didn't have
nothing
Five
really like
Below
that.
until only, I want to say, 3 years ago, maybe.
Oh, Five Belows, we have a ton of those.
Yeah, it was when I worked
Yeah.
CZW that I learned about it. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, you need that? Just go grab it at Five Below." And I was like, that's not words to me. What is a Five Below? What do you mean? Like, you guys don't have Five Below in Cali? And I was like, first of all, we don't call it Cali. Second of all, I was like, no, I don't know what you mean. And like a year later, they started popping up everywhere, and I've gotten some really, really good scores at Five Below. Like I've gotten some great toys there for $5 or under, and I love it. Usually small stuff too. It's a great place for small toys.
Yeah, I've picked up a lot of my loyal subject stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm always like, all right, am I gonna find Bobby Hill today at Five Below? Yo, someone just sent me. My boy just sent me. My boy Chris that does all my most of my artwork for my toys. He sent me a picture from Amazon. Someone got a mail call with the Fortnite Vault.
Yeah.
And I'm so tempted on that set because I would love my Fortnite shelf to just be set up with that vault in the back and a couple of barrels. But I just do not give two shits about the figures, and I'm pissed.
Which are the figures
Like,
that come in that one?
Just freaking a guy in like a suit with like gold arms.
That's right. It's like the henchman.
Yeah, it's like henchmen, and then like I forget which girl, but like it's just, man, it's frustrating. Like such a cool playset with such stale figures, like the plainest things they could have thought to put with that.
Did you get the Peely, the Agent Peely library set?
No, I regret it because there's nothing cooler to me than a trap or than a spinning like bookshelf.
I might.
Yeah, very
I'm like-
James Bond.
Exactly. I'm such a sucker for secret doors and things like that, and so that spin around gimmick was really cool to me. And I saw it on clearance, and I was like, I don't have shelf space because I hadn't made a Fortnite shelf yet because I didn't really have too many figures. And then I got that big Christmas box set on clearance, and when I finally saw my buddy in San Diego, it was like that set. Plus, I just got the Tomato Town. I just found like Scratch. And like I just found a bunch, like all like with a span of like a week, I had like 15 more figures, and I was like, okay, I need to make a shelf now. And now I wish I would have had the bookshelf set to put there.
Yeah, it's a fun playset. A friend of ours, shout out to Creepy NJ Dave, who I picked that up for him, and he was like, "You could open it and do an unboxing if you want. Like, go ahead and play with it for a little bit." And it's a super fun set. Plus, like again, like there's just something about the anthropomorphic food characters.
Banana,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially in a suit,
Yeah,
in a sweet tux.
I found Kit in the llama,
Yep.
which was great. Like that figure is out of control.
Thank you for tipping us off on that, because I had I knew that figure was coming, but I had no idea where it was coming.
Yeah,
in.
same. I'd only seen it like, the Chinese factory pictures of it loose and stuff, and I was like, okay, sweet. And I expected it to be solo mode or hot drop if that was still. I don't think they're going to keep doing hot drops. I think the last one sold so poorly.
Yeah.
It was on the shelf forever too. Like from when I like first started playing Fortnite, like almost a year, I think. But yeah, I was like, and then I figured that was gonna have like, you know, neon green skeleton trooper or something, you know. It was a neon green skeleton llama, so I expected. And then I happened to read the tiny little print on the wraparound, and it said Kit, and I was like, oh shit, I have to have it.
Yeah, yeah, and I have that one in the legendary series, and it's on. I don't know if it operates the same way, but like with like the transforming like vehicle mode and stuff, it's
Oh no, it doesn't do any of that. That's crazy.
yeah. So the legendary series one, it's actually in their again, unfortunately, short-lived brawlers line, which is like they're like slightly larger legendary series figures.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah. They have the box is black, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Kit is actually a separate figure, the little cat, and it comes out and
Oh, his does that. Okay.
and
The
then
4-inch one does.
and then the actual body is two separate pieces that come apart, and you can transform them into like the motorcycle mode and put Kit back in it and like have
Oh,
him
what?
ride around on like the tricycle /
Little
motorcycle mode.
moped thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Okay, I got to play with the figure. I don't think it does that, but you know, who knows? Maybe it doesn't. I'm just dumb.
So I have to ask you before we move on. You mentioned one of my favorite lines from childhood. You mentioned the Kenner Terminator line, and we were talking about like gross out stuff and like the slime.
Oh, are you talking about the skin one?
Oh yeah,
The one that
Dude.
never worked, right?
never.
I was gonna say none of my friends had it. I would see it in the store and just kind of hold it and just like weep and then like never knew.
Well, we had it, and it never worked.
You
right?
had it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, I say we because we kind of played with everything together, but
Yeah, I helped you put it together, I think.
yeah.
What is your guys' age difference?
7 years.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty big, especially when it comes to
Yeah.
toys. That must have been actually it must have been really fun.
It was. It was for my end because I would be like, it was almost like I'd be buying stuff that I thought was cool for Eric, and then he would just think it was cool. So
Yeah. I mean that is cool. Yeah, it's like you get to be like Santa Claus, like, yo, look what I found because I'm older than you and can drive and have a job. Like
Yeah, and there was always a lot of that, and too, like just helping me. Like I have vivid memories of him helping me, put stuff together and like, fire kind of stuff up for the first time. But anytime I see that Terminator toy, the first two things I think of are thing never worked. Like you could never get the body out of the mold without like losing chunks of it.
oh, I bet.
And it smelled horrendous.
yeah,
And I bet there's no way those compounds have held up, right? Like even if you found a mint one sealed,
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
no chance.
No chance.
I'll eat it on Fat Andy Eats.
Please don't. We like you.
I don't know if I would. It like
It might eat you.
It smelled like wet Nerf ball. Like
Oh,
wet
dude, I
Nerf ball.
kind of can picture like just looking at it because I'm looking at it, and you know what? I kind of still want to get the playset because I could just pour excess silicone in there and just have a little rubber freaking Terminator
Oh, totally.
because it
Yeah,
wouldn't
that would actually work.
it wouldn't adhere to that plastic at all. It would peel right off, and I would do a little trimming from some flashing, and boom, I got a little rubber wiggly bioflesh, and I wouldn't even have to put the skeleton inside. I'll just fill it solid. Huh? I need to get a hold of one of those.
Look at that. I'm glad I asked the question now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so this is what now that I've got the whole list up. So at that swap meet, I scored the pink shirt had to Terminator with the pink shirt, and he came with only one of the arms. And then I got the Terminator where the gun pops out of his chest, and it doesn't work, but he looks tight in that outfit because his abs are showing. He's got a little cutout for his abs. And then these were all loose that I got. And then I got the Blaster T1000, and he also was missing some pieces, but like I just think he's the funniest looking cop toy of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Where he's like enormous and looks nothing like the T1000.
Yeah. He's like
It-
super broad shouldered.
I feel
What
like
the
I
hell,
read
man?
somewhere the explanation for why that figure is so off the mark, but it cracks me up because it looks like a fucking Police Academy toy.
It does.
Like it's such a goofy thing. And then I know I got one of the weird colored um, Terminators, the Endo Glow. Yeah,
Oh,
I
like
got one of them loose.
the copper colored one.
Yeah. And then I got three of the Techno Punch one, which two of them the tubes were snapped for that like the rubber bit.
Oh yeah.
But the freaking the money was the John with motorcycle on the card, and the reason I got
Nice.
it is because the card was like it had been soaked once, like it had to have been soaking wet. It was so flimsy, but no real damage to like the actual ink. But I was like, brother, I was like, you can't. I was like, you ain't calling this mint. And he was like, all right. So I got a good deal on that. And then the next booth over is where I got all the loose ones. And I was like, oh, it's a Terminator day now.
Yeah, that line was so good.
See, I remember when they put out the like exploding T1000. I thought that was the coolest. But that actually looked like Robert Patrick.
Yeah, I know. That's the only. And what frustrates me about that one is like
the spring always broke.
Well, and it's kind of hard to play with, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that was like the one Terminator, the one Arnold. I think he has like a gray tank top, and the entire like front, like from like his waist up, like pops off if you move his hand down too far. It was impossible.
Oh yeah, that's the chest one, I think.
It was impossible to play with that figure because if you bumped into like you would put the arm far enough down so that it wasn't like, he wasn't, pointing it out in front of him. But like if you bumped him the wrong way, all of a sudden his chest would fly off and,
God. Yeah, and that's the one I have that one. It's super sensitive, like super sensitive.
Yep, it's like a hair trigger.
Dude, I never noticed the white hot T1000. That is what a waste because that's a full Robert Patrick. Like that's his sculpt. Like his face is there, but he's like colored so strange.
Yep. It's
like they could have just painted that normal and sold that too, and they didn't.
I'm sure they're.
What the hell?
I'm sure they're.
I never noticed that
using that sculpt.
Oh, I bet. I bet, man. The way people repaint stuff nowadays, I bet they could grab that and make it look like $1 million.
And now, a word from our sponsors. And now, back to the show.
So speaking of making things, we talked about making toys last time. So what new stuff are you working on?
Lately, I've been having fun with customs, like just one-offs, not stuff to sell. I have been finishing some projects that I'm planning to sell, but like I recently just did a little paint practice, and I made a metal Mario Kart since LB has so many Hot Wheels duplicates of Mario, because he comes with a lot of the tracks. He comes in multi-packs every time, so like LB's got like 3 or 4 of the same Mario in a standard cart. So I did a little practice with silver and some black wash and made a nice metal Mario. I'm really proud. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I made Pete Davidson as Blackguard with his face blown off.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And so like the second I saw that movie, I was like, wow, like that was amazing. I really loved it. Like James Gunn just he does it for me every time. And so that made me rewatch I waited to watch the first Suicide Squad till after I'd seen the James Gunn one because I didn't want to like have it be better by comparison in my head. I wanted it to be its own thing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even hate the Suicide Squad, the Will Smith one. Like I thought it was really good until it like falls off and is unforgivably bad. But like when it's good, it's tight, it's fun, and the toys for it were really cool. I remember always seeing them at Target, and I was like, I don't really fuck with DC. But those are pretty good. Like, wow, Funko did a pretty good job. Like, they got little elbow joints and knees. That's pretty cool. That's like perfect. Like, that's just the right amount. And then they were always on clearance. And I was like, oh, those are sick. I was like, but the Joker looks dumb. And I don't need that. And then they're all gone. And now they cost $1 bajillion. But I got lucky because I got a weird eBay lot of factory rejects. And there wasn't anything wrong with any of them. So I ended up with 3 dead shots. That came with the guns and both the helmeted head and the regular head, the way he was packed. I got Joker in the prison jammies. I got 2 Harley Quinns in the prison outfit. And then I got 7 katanas. So I've given some of those away. But it's crazy because her figure's amazing. Like she's in the movie for like, I don't know, 8 minutes.
It's a great figure.
Yeah,
but the detail on that figure, like Funko made really good toys. Like I even got some Game of Thrones ones. I've never seen a second of Game of Thrones. but they had some guys called like Skull and Bones or Rattle Bones or something.
Yeah, the Nightwalkers.
No, it's like he's got like a skull face and like they have bones on their chest and like it implies them Rattle Bones.
Oh yes. You're right. Yes. Yeah.
I found two of those. I found two of those figures for $4 on the card each, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting those because they look like cool Star Wars guys. Like this is good toys." And so yeah, when I had that extra Deadshot, I knew I was going to turn it into somebody because of what a generic modern superhero outfit he had on. That biker gear that, like, I don't know. I was going to make him Bloodsport at first, but I thought that was kind of out of my skill range. I didn't feel comfortable sculpting like the teeth of his cool Xenomorph helmet. So I was like, oh, fuck it. I don't have to sculpt anything except like torn flesh. Let's go. So I just went with Pete Davidson as Blackguard instead.
Yeah.
I wish I would have made the hair more white, but I couldn't find my white paint until after I was done. And I was like really rolling on the project. And I was like, whatever, we'll just go with yellow. The point will get across.
It was very obvious what you did. It was very good.
Sweet.
I still think you should take.
Pete Davidson doesn't have social media. I was like that. I would send that to him. I would love to make carding for that and give it to him as a gift.
He's not on any social media anymore?
None that I could find.
Huh.
And I was trying to think of I was like, well, what comedians like toys? And I know Bobby Moynihan does, but I don't know if they ever I don't know if they were on SNL at the same time at any point. I think they were. But Bobby Moynihan's like huge toy collector, and like I always see him scooping up stuff from like Has No Talent with his really cool Mandalorian line. Like Bobby's always the first to like it and hit claim and shit. It's cool to see because I'm a huge fan of his comedy. I love his voice work that he's gotten to do in. He was on Star Wars Resistance.
Yep.
I'm just a huge fan of him, and like anytime he got to be in a Star Wars sketch on SNL, you could tell he was like having the time of his life. And I just think he's hilarious, and like I love to see that he loves toys and he loves like Healy made stuff. Like he likes good toys, he likes bad toys that are good to him. Like it's just cool to see. And so I was like, maybe I could tag him in this and he can get it to him. And I was like, forget it. I'll just keep it for my collection because I'm proud of the end result.
Well, it came out really good. I still think
it was really cool.
I still think you should take one of those katanas and make turn her into like the Harley Quinn from the beginning of the new Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, I remember you had suggested that. I think you're right. I hate painting, but I think that could be pretty easy, especially if I can find an extra Harley Quinn. Because that'll just be a little head swap and some red and black, and I could probably make it look pretty good. And I need to be tested with painting because I never paint stuff. Like I was talking about some toys to sell. The reason I practice with the silver is because I've made a micro machine of my new spaceship.
Oh.
Now, the Saurian 2 is not out of commission by any means. BHK, Major Hunk, is in command of that ship. And with my promotion to captain,
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was given a new ship for special solo missions known as the Silver Donna. And I was working on a micro machine of it in all its silver glory. And I had a great original. I had a solid mold. I fixed some issues that I was having with it, and then the intense heat we had just ruined it.
Oh no!
It ruined it. I usually get 20 good pulls out of a mold. I only got 6 that I can keep.
Ugh.
I only got 6 that were good enough to paint and sell, and I'm keeping 1 for myself because I always keep 1 final product for me. I usually keep the original kit bash or sculpt or whatever it was, and I keep the first pull, and then I keep one final. And so yeah, I really only have 5 to sell. So what I did is I came up with an idea for some of the ones that had mold issues. I came up with like a little, almost like a diorama. It's like a little desk mate, and it's the ship parked on the moon, and then there's going to be a little Captain Yuma figure standing next to it that I still need to do some modification on. So, just trying to make the most out of a bad situation, but I'm really proud with the ship, the design. I think it came out really cool, really unique. It really, I think calls back to what inspired me. Like the way George Lucas in episode 1 and 2 really showed his love of Flash Gordon with those silver ships.
Oh yeah.
the Naboo cruiser, especially in episode 2.
Yeah.
When that movie opens and they're flying through those clouds in that World War II looking thing that's just solid silver, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm promoted to captain now. I have solo missions. I was like, what would this ship look like? And I was like, well, it would look more like Flash Gordon, you know? It's, you know, out of character. I always saw me and BHK as, you know, gritty 80s sci-fi. And it got a little sillier as we went on because it was more fun that way. You can only try to be serious for so long with something that people know is so silly. But with Captain Yuma, you know, it was a little sillier right off the bat. And so, you know, I've written a bunch of like black and white, like Twilight Zone style kind of space shorts and things like that. That just, you know, COVID's has made it really hard to get that stuff shot and filmed, but it's there and it's ready. And so I wanted the ship to reflect that more retro space I was going for, you know, instead of gritty 80s cool space, you know, Blade Runner, you know, dark and some horror, even from Alien. I was like, no, this is campy man in a spacesuit walking on red Mars.
Awesome. Yeah, 1950s sci-fi.
Exactly, pulp sci-fi. Like I look at those covers and it's just always like a guy like, you know, about to shoot a giant alien holding like a nearly nude woman, and I'm like, that's cool. Like that's sci-fi. Like that's what it was for so long to people, and I love it.
A nearly nude,
like almost like Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like I mean, just like, you know, purple mountains in the background of a green sky. Like it's just cheesy, and I love it.
So you're, you know, as we've talked about, kind of, you know, the things that you collect, the things that you create, they kind of center on that 3 3/4, you know, 5 POA variety of figure. What draws you to both collect and create in that format?
I think I mean, it's got to be because that was my first Star Wars stuff, and Star Wars has always been like the driving creative inspiration for everything I do. When I really think about it, my very first figures were Ninja Turtles figures. I had only had dinosaurs and Hot Wheels, and you know, dinosaurs were just rigid, hard rubber, you know, stuff you get at the gift shop at the museum. You know, I had Land Before Time puppets from Pizza Hut, you know, just solid, no articulation, no nothing. You didn't need them. But my first actual action figures were obviously Ninja Turtles, and those were 5 points. And I never really thought about it because it didn't matter. Like, it just didn't matter to me at all. I could have had 0 points. I wouldn't have cared. The way they were shaped, the way they were all stylized, it wouldn't have mattered really how much articulation they had. But starting to like Star Wars in 93 and only seeing in books and magazines what the old toys looked like, I remember thinking they looked like crap. I was like, oh, like a lot of these suck. Some of them were cool. You know, some of them, I feel like the more alien they were, the better they looked. Especially towards the end, like the original Power of the Force. Some of the character choices in there had a lot more detail and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, like that's like, I'm watching Star Wars, falling in love with every single second of it. And then I saw the toys and was kind of underwhelmed. But then 95 came, and here they come on these bright orange cards. And that was really when I fell in love with not just Star Wars, but collecting like as a whole. I had tons of Ninja Turtles and wanted every one, and I had other 90s toys randomly, but like those were what really, really started it all, and the obsession. That was where the obsession really started. And so I think that's why I stick with that style and that scale, because it made me so happy just by being so simple. Like I was like, it's the, you know, keep it simple, stupid. It works. It works. And I think that's why I love it. And it's definitely why I like to work within that. I don't think my skill level is yet at a place where I can deal with a ball joint, you know, in a shoulder, or even, you know, hinge joints in the elbows and knees. You know, I have trouble painting those, you know, sculpting that, making sure the pin is the right size. Like there's a lot more to that I'm just not ready for. And when it comes with the way, you know, like a nice split torso with shoulders and legs, like that's all I need. It's easier to work with. And I mean, down the line, I would like to challenge myself with more, but I mean, you can't beat it. You know, I'm still here spending, you know, top dollar on reaction figures because that's what I like. You know, that's the scale, the style. That's just what I like and what I want to play with and what I want to make.
So I think it's time for us to play a game. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Chubsy Wubsy Toys. A traditional mom-and-pop toy store in Little Falls, New Jersey, Chubsy Wubsy Toys brings you the best new toys from the brands you love without the hassle of pounding the pavement searching for them at larger retail stores. Visit them in person at 106 Main Street in Little Falls, New Jersey, or online at ChubsyWubsy.com. That's ChubsyWubsy.com. And tell them Adventures in Collecting sent you.
Oh,
Yes.
I love games.
So
Games are like toys almost.
yes.
They're fun.
Yeah.
So outside of your your collection and your creation, and outside of your time in the ring, you are also a connoisseur of junk food
Yes.
and of pop punk bands.
Yeah. Big. I was into all kinds of music, especially growing up, and especially in high school. Was when it really blossomed. Meeting friends from different areas, different schools, things like that, and really learning to like a lot of different kinds, especially pop punk. Pop punk was really, really hot. It was getting really hot when I started high school and really started to learn about more music.
So we had this we did this or that game when we had the Pokemon team on. And we have a special junk food, toys, and pop punk band edition of this or that.
Okay,
Yes,
so I'm choosing one or the other?
Yep, just choosing one or the other. One goes, one stays.
Now, when one goes, what happens to the one that goes? Is it gone forever? Can no one enjoy it, or can I no longer enjoy it?
You are picking one for you.
Okay.
The consequences only fall on you yourself.
Okay, because I wanted to Thanos and get rid of a bunch of bands I don't like, but okay.
Listen, you can close your eyes and you can wrap your brain around this however you want to.
Yeah, whatever makes it work.
I hope the audio got that snap. I can see it on the screen scrolling, a nice little perfect square of sound.
It did.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like Baby Driver. Sometimes when I'm going back and editing these, I make like little like remixes of stuff, and I'm the only one that gets to secretly enjoy them.
That's tight.
All right, Dave. So we're gonna start this or that. Do you want to start with the first one?
I sure can. So it's time to play this or that. First question: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Masters of the Universe?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all day.
Blink-182, pre or post Enema of the State?
That's tough because I like it. Let's go pre.
All right. Monster or Rockstar energy drink?
Monster. Rockstar fell off. I was loyal forever. They reformulated every single one, and they taste like trash.
Rockstar was always my go-to when we did the 24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
That was my.
Well,
my
I was
jam.
talking to Eric Stevens. We were just talking the other day. Eric Stevens of ROH fame and Cookies and Cream in Sarasota.
I was going to say of cookie fame.
Yes, of cookie fame. Cookies and Cream out of Sarasota, making the craziest damn cookies you've ever seen. He and I were just talking about how Rockstar was the only one that had a zero sugar one for a long time. That blue can one, and so that was like the one. And Rockstar was like what you drank, because I was as wrestlers trying to care about our abs and all that crap. Like that was the only one you could even really have. And so, I stayed loyal, and they fell off. So Monster is my pick.
The other thing was, too, it cost like half as much.
Definitely.
Yep.
It was always like it would be like $2 for $3 or $3.50, and then a Monster was like $3.99 on its own.
Rockstar, what have you done?
Failed me. That's what they've done.
All right, Taco Bell Taco Pizza or the McRib?
Oh, McRib.
All right. This is a tough one because I think I know how I'd answer this, but I'm not sure. Jimmy Eat World or Saves the Day?
Saves the day. No
Yeah,
hesitation.
I think that's where,
No hesitation.
I think that's where I'm leaning to.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
New Jersey in general.
Yeah.
Saves the day all day. You know what's funny? My the first house show I ever went to, it was in a garage. This kid, Scotty, Innumerable, who 2 years after this show became like one of my best friends. We're friends to this day. I was in bands with him forever. Him and his older brother, they had bands, and they had a house show, and there was a band that played, and I don't remember which of my friends were in it, but the name of the band was We're From New Jersey, All of Us, and then in parentheses, just like Saves the Day. And that was actually how I learned about Saves the Day. I'd never heard of him. I went to Catholic school, and my music exposure was pretty much from my parents and just the pop radio station and the alternative station. So like I was a radio kid. I would listen to older music, but for the most part, if it wasn't on the radio, I did not know about it. So when I got to high school, and I'm like, wait, what are the Misfits? Like Saves the Day? Like, who are all these bands? And so I had Kazaa. Actually, I had Morpheus at the time.
Morpheus.
And I just would go. I would just go home and type in every single one of these bands and down like 4 or 5 songs, and that's like how I learned so much.
And the FBI
So
is on their
Day.
way to your house currently.
Yes, they're gonna Lars Ulrich himself.
Spin Master Batman or Jazzwares Fortnite?
Jazzwares Fortnite. That I forgot to bring up how Spin Master's Batman really fell off into repaint hell.
There's some new characters coming. They should be hitting really soon. We should be getting Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, and Batwing are coming.
So I still want Bane singles because I don't need that 2-pack, and I need Copperhead, but he's in a 2-pack. But I think I could probably find that at like a Ross or something. And then I still haven't found the damn Gorilla Grodd in that scale, the 2-pack with Flash. I found the Black Manta, but I ended up passing on it because it was weirdly expensive at Home Goods. That's the only place anybody found it, and I found one, but I didn't like the price. But yeah, Spin Masters. I'm glad I saw the Deathstroke. He looks tight, but he's in a 2-pack as well with like a big vehicle, I think.
Yeah, he's getting a single card release.
Oh, he is, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the Harley? What's she based on?
It looks exactly like the 12-inch one, just tiny. I don't know if you remember the shampoo bottle one that came out. It was in like that first wave.
Oh, okay.
So
I might have to get that.
It's good. I mean, she's got it's like
I got the Mr. Freeze, the Target exclusive.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the freaking Playmates ass unpainted shoulder sculpt. So disappointing because that toy is fucking dope, and then he's just got these obvious. It just looks like he has ice growing out of his arms. That's what I pretend, so I don't stay mad.
Yeah,
it's the little victories, you know.
It's yeah, I had never seen it. Somebody found it for me, and then as soon as that happened, I saw it everywhere.
I've still never seen it. My buddy found it in San Diego and kept it in my pile. It's weird. It's like me and him have this like we just collect for each other, but I hadn't even seen him in a calendar year because of the pandemic. And we finally got together and we each had so many damn toys for each other. We're like, oh, our wives are gonna kill us.
You got to have that collecting crew. It's got
You got to have your boys that are out there looking for what they're ready to go. As long as you're Venmo ready, I'm ready to grab it for you. I try to at least. I like to hunt for Bad Dude Tito. Again, my artist pal Chris Terry Art, Dino Winwood, Howdy Price, whatever you want to call the lovely Naughty Bobby Ramos. I help hunt hit. We all hunt for each other, and it's fun because it's kind of sometimes it gives us a reason to see each other. With shows not being as common, like it's like, yo, like I got this stuff, let's meet up, and we'll pick it up, and I don't know. It's just a fun way to hang out too. Just meet up and exchange all the toys we found for each other.
Well, nothing beats passing off a Bodhi Rook through Scorpio Sky. So.
Oh, what a dream! That's one of my favorite figure stories ever. Because I to this day I've never even seen him like from a reseller. I've never seen that Bodhi at a Frankenstein's or at a pop up. Nowhere.
I'm actually staring at that little plastic Scorpio Sky right at this very moment.
Hell yeah! I ended up getting 2 of those. He gave me one and signed it, and I was like so stoked. I hung it on my wall right away because I've actually got like a carded collection now, and it's mostly stuff that I just like. It looks better packaged, which is something I've never really cared about, but as my tastes have changed. I do have a pretty small collection up on the wall, but he's definitely up there. He's up there next to Chris Hero and Ricochet. And then I'm going to put Ricky Starks up there when he gets one. And then when Peter Avalon gets his goddamn AEW action figure, because they better make one, I hope Jeremy Padower is listening and he shows the respect to pretty Peter Avalon that he deserves and makes him a beautiful action figure that comes with rolling entrance heart bed.
That's got ringside exclusive written all over it.
I'm telling you, how toyetic. Make giant ass Cesar that comes with the little rolling Peter sitting on the thing. Like,
Soft,
I mean,
soft goods smoking jacket.
yeah, like that's money.
Yeah.
People like the wingman. They want toys of them. Peter's ugly. He's toyetic. I love it. But yeah, there's a spot on the wall saved just for Peter because I know it'll happen. I'm confident.
I would get that one in a heartbeat. All right, next one.
Yes.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos or Flamin' Hot Doritos?
Flamin' Hot Doritos.
I thought you were gonna.
But the true winner, the king of them all, and my boy Watts will back me up on this, is Flamin' Hot Fritos.
That
is the
Okay.
king of Flamin' Hot. It's a smaller bag, but it's always packed tight, and they're just the best.
I'm not gonna.
And I like hot fries too more than Cheetos. Actually, the hot Cheetos ended up at the bottom of the list by now.
Not gonna lie, it was almost Flamin' Hot Cheetos versus Fritos. It was.
Oh yeah, Fritos would have taken it. Fritos. So I rank it Fritos, fries, Doritos, and then Cheetos. Oh, and the Lay's. I don't really like the Lay's that much. I used to. They changed them. They switched the oil they made them with. In fact, when they switched the oil, I got really sick from it.
I
Junk
love.
food is a big part of my life, guys.
I
I have like many life moments that only exist because junk food was involved.
I'm sitting here laughing
love
just because
that
of the
there's-
insight, the amount of insight that's coming from the junk food.
I just love that there's like the Andy Caps hot fries are
Those are good.
getting some respect here. Yeah.
Those are good. It's just I feel like I don't even put them since they're not under the Flamin' Hot brand and they have such a unique flavor. I never really lump them in when people say hot fries because I like the Cheetos ones. But if we're comparing those, I actually do prefer the Andy Cap to the Flamin' Hot ones. But in the Flamin' Hot rankings, those are my number 2.
Back to pop punk for the next one. We're going Sum 41 or Good Charlotte.
Sum 41, but I can't lie. I love Good Charlotte. I was so ashamed of it in high school. That was it was really lame to like them. And then even after, it was like even lamer. But the first time I heard them was they did the theme for undergrads.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that show, and I would always sing that song. And again, boom, I went on Morpheus to download episodes of that, and the theme song came up in the list, and I saw the band name, and so that's how I started looking them up. But definitely Sum 41. I actually saw them 2 years ago with my wife, and they were so good. They played all the hits, and they even said that they're like, we know you don't want to hear new shit, so we're only gonna play 3. And their new stuff was really good. It was really heavy though. I guess I missed a few albums where they got heavier. But then they played all the classics, and I was like, man, I feel like freaking Reese from Malcolm in the Middle right now. I was like, this is heaven. This is great.
Sum 41's good live.
Yeah, really, the energy's crazy, because I don't know how old those dudes are, but we just saw Newfound Glory the other night, and those guys fucking tore it up. I was exhausted watching them.
Yeah, I saw Newfound Glory when they were on tour for that From the Screen to Your, the newest From the Screen to Your Stereo one, pre-pandemic, and they were unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, they covered Let It Go from Frozen, and it was so good. Everyone was waiting for them to play Kiss Me, but they covered that instead, and I thought it was amazing. They were great. They were so good. Less Than Jake opened for them, and of course, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. So that was awesome too. But it's been nice. It was nice to go to a show. It had been a long time.
Star Wars retro or vintage collection?
I'm gonna say vintage collection for now, but that may change because there's another wave of retro coming, and it's rumored to be Mando season 2. So once I see those, that might change my mind because the vintage collection is moving way too freaking slow. It shouldn't have taken me that long to have Kuil. I still don't have him. It's coming out in 3 months.
Yeah.
That line just pisses me off because it's the only thing they make in that scale, other than the retros. And I have all the Mandalorian Wave 1. I didn't get any of the classic ones. I just got the Mando ones because I thought that was neater to me. To me, the retro line should not have started with throwbacks. It should have started with sequel characters and Rogue One and the stuff we've never seen that way. And also they did the Tarkin. That was super wise, do the guys we never got and do the guys we would have never gotten because they didn't exist. Like, I need to see Kylo Ren like that. I need to see Rey like that. Like Poe, X-Wing, just do X-Wing Poe, borrow the sculpt, switch the head. Like, it's just, it feels like they missed a really easy opportunity to make the retros special, and they're finally getting there with the Mando ones. So I'm gonna pick Vintage Collection for now, even though I can't find that Darth Maul and Ahsoka. But we'll see, because if I get Cobb Vanth and Chubby Boba, it's over.
Bang, Candy Apple, Crisp, or Sour Heads?
Sour Heads. I didn't like the Apple one. I actually haven't had a Bang since the Apple one came out. I think that was the very last one I tried. I was having a lot of health issues with my stomach, and Bang and Rain both were just killing me. And I was just dying of acid reflux all day. And it's the exhaustion from that pain was was negating the caffeine, the energy. So it's I was giving myself a stomach ache for no reason.
Yeah,
but Monster and Rockstar weren't doing it. But in fact, the new Rockstars actually bugged my stomach too. That was another reason. I was well, now they taste bad and they mess with me. So Monster's the only one that doesn't. But I mostly just try new flavors. I'm not a daily energy guy anymore. It's been almost a year. I only have a couple of months, if that.
Yeah, you don't need that stuff.
No. I was wrecking my body. I mean, I was at a point where I was having 3 a day sometimes with my longer gym schedules back a few years ago. I would work 5 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. all clients all day. And so I would go through 2 or 3 small Monsters that were 120, 160 caffeine. And it was just my heart would be jumping all over the place. I was oh, cool. I'm going to die at 30. Great.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, man. I leaned on those for way too long. And, I didn't even wean myself. I'm a cold turkey guy. When I feel like something's going wrong, I cut it. And so I did that in about May. And, or last May. Yeah, it was last May. During the pandemic. Because there was nothing to do. I was well, I don't fucking need energy.
Newfound Glory or MXPX?
Newfound Glory.
Arby's or Burger King?
Arby's, but I love Burger King too. But definitely Arby's.
They have the meats.
And we all know Carl's Jr. is
still the key. You know what though? I haven't been eating there as much because their prices have gotten out of control. That's a damn Red Robin burger prices. And it's still my favorite burger, but come on, guys. I only get, one cheap meal a week. I can't be breaking the bank on it.
Dashboard Confessional. Just Chris Carrabba or full band?
Oh, I was never too big of a fan, but I would say full band.
And our last one, Muscle or Mask?
Muscle, but that's tough. And I say Muscle because I've only known about Mask, I think, for 4 years, honestly.
Really?
I didn't know about them. No, before Lucas was born. So 6 years, 2014, when I first started making toys. That's when I discovered Mask. I had a Floyd Malloy, and I always thought it was from. I used to have these monster trucks that came with a little figure that sat inside, and I think I always just assumed he was from that line. I remember getting him in a handful of random it's why I have any GI Joes too, just randomly in there, and I just always thought he was from that monster truck line. I never knew what he was from, so yeah, those are new to me. But I mean, when I look back, it's everything I love about toys. A little helmet. I love helmets. Who doesn't love helmets? Especially when they're removable, and the fact that they have little knee joints so they can sit in the cars better. It's I love that. I love them, and I wish. I don't know. I mean, Mission Fleet is, I guess, close, but I still feel they're stylized a bit. They are cartoony.
Now Mask had the coolest playset too. The big
Boulder Hill
mountain. Yeah, Boulder Hill.
Dude, just everything. And I'm not even really big on transforming stuff, but the way on those, something would just come out of something. You didn't have to do anything. It's the billboard flipped down to reveal it turns into a motorcycle somehow. or a box that just opens and then he's like, oh, it's a helicopter today. Like,
It was like, wasn't there like I remember like a blue sports car that just had pop out wings.
yeah. Like some of them
Yeah.
did so little, but it was just so neat. Now
Or
you
the
got me
van
wanting to
that
look.
had the glider that was part of it.
Yeah.
Now you got me wanting to look. Who made Mask? Was that Galoob? No.
Wasn't it Hasbro? I thought Hasbro made Mask.
I thought they bought the rights a few years ago. I didn't remember them always owning it.
I thought it was Kenner originally.
We're gonna find out as
Kenner.
It
was Kenner.
as we talk. It was Kenner. Oh yeah, Kenner Mask. Okay.
Yeah, it was Kenner. So they got it when they bought Kenner.
God, and just the carding is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then that reminds me of I recently started learning about the Eagle Force, the little die-cast ones.
Yeah, this is due. Mask is due for a
Long overdue.
It's been supposed to happen a few times. Hasbro had was working on
Slingshot. There's the one with the glider.
Slingshot.
If this Fortnite, I'm gonna call it right now. If this Fortnite line that's coming has the kind of Mask energy to it,
oh yeah, it'll force their hand,
and it sells really well, I would not be surprised if they use the HasLab platform to do some sort of kind of like soft test the waters relaunch. See like if there's a community out there for it. Would not be surprised, and that would be a really great way to use the HasLab stuff too.
For real, yeah. I mean, imagine if they just did like a modern Boulder Hill playset. Like it'd probably cost a lot. Maybe come with 3 or 4 characters and 2 vehicles, and then obviously the more people that fund it, the more stuff it comes with.
Yep.
I think that'd be great. So, and what's weird? Like Mattel keeps dry attempting like classic brands. Most notably, I think it was Mattel that redid them. They put out the Dino Riders, then they get the rights to that, and they made those weird little ones. Did you guys see those? They're like they were like army men, almost. Let me see if I can find it. Because I feel like they got the rights.
I know they just did the Street Sharks thing.
So that was another example I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see this. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
That battle pack, right? But is that Mattel? It is Mattel, yeah.
Huh.
So these are popping up at weird discount stores for only $15. This whole set.
I totally missed this.
Oh yeah, they're really neat, man. They're like little toy soldier style, solid plastic color, just like
Oh, it was initially an Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it was weird because they came out of nowhere and just went up. That's it. No hype, no nothing, no fanfare. Just here they are, and it reminds. And then they did the Street Sharks thing the other day. Like, hey, do you guys still like Street Sharks? Let's see how many people will buy these $75 ones. And that leads me to believe, they might do a little reboot line. I mean, everybody's doing. That's all they're doing. Nobody's trying anything new. And that reminds me of how when Super 7 lost the muscle name for their Keshi back to Mattel, and they switched to just calling theirs Keshi Surprise, Mattel had made the Street Shark muscles that never came out and then ended up at Five Below if you were lucky. I'm lucky. I got them all. I kind of wish I would have kept them carded, but I kept the carding, so at least I have that. That was again, that reminds me of the Dino Rider thing. Like they were going to pop out like a reminder that is inexpensive, no paint, solid plastic, or in this case, Keshi rubber. And so it's weird because it's like they don't even really make an effort, but they put out a really cool quality thing. That Dino Rider set is really, really cool.
I can't believe I missed that whole thing.
They didn't talk about it. They didn't put it in Target. They put it in such a weird spot. And it's like they test the waters in these weird ways that I hope Hasbro does a more, I guess, conscious effort, like you had mentioned, like something through HasLab, like, hey. And I think if the Fortnite line does well and it's similar enough, I hope they just rip off the concept, Like maybe the back blings, instead of back bling, it's like helmets or something. Just something to really make Hasbro be like, oh shit, we could do that too. We have it. Look, we have the original. And then we all get those too.
And it's one of those things where Hasbro has so many different IPs, right? Like they have the IPs that they have to license, so like the deals that they have with like Star Wars and Ghostbusters and Marvel. But then they have like Mask or like G.I. Joe. They don't have to worry about licensing. It's literally just kind of determining whether or not the end product would be profitable. So, hopefully, to that point, if this new Fortnite line does really well, maybe it will force their hand. And then, you know what? It's a real win-win situation, because if they are in scale with each other, like the Fortnite stuff tends to be in scale with, other stuff that's out there, you just have even more of a world to play in, which is awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's like, I mean, stuff doesn't need to be perfect, but as long as they're close enough. And that's what really bothered me about when Hasbro we're making their Marvel, like I guess they were 4-inch, and I never clicked because like a 4-inch toy just didn't mean anything to me. It was 3 3/4.
Yeah.
I didn't know they genuinely meant 4-inch, and they did. I got the Yondu and the Star-Lord 2-pack, and I had all these really fun photo ideas for them and my Star Wars toys, and then I put them next to each other and they dwarfed them, and I was so mad. I think the picture I ended up posting was Yondu saying, "Ain't you guys a little short for stormtroopers?" Because they were like surrounding him, and that was the joke I had to make, because I was like, "Well, this was disappointing. I had grand plans for fun photos, and they're like, a whole head taller than him."
Yeah.
And so the Fortnite ones being 4-inch kind of bummed me out, but it's like I got so many of them so fast, like I don't really need them to play with anybody else, like I don't have to mix them in. But I can, like I think they look decent next to G.I. Joes, even when they're a little too big.
And they work really well with the Batman ones.
Yeah, the Spin Masters ones look really good next to them.
And those the things that I love are the Kenner Marvel Legends 3 3/4 ones.
Oh yeah, I have I wish they wouldn't have stopped that long. I just wish, I don't know why Hasbro just gave up entirely.
Oh no, it's still going.
Yeah, that's still coming.
Yeah.
There's a whole new wave coming out with like US Agent. And,
you're talking about those? Oh no, those are killer. I passed on Silver Surfer yesterday, and I've been kicking myself since. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I was just like,
yeah, I haven't seen them out here yet.
He's the only one I've seen. I saw just a lone Silver Surfer, and he was in the wrong section too. But yeah, no, I want the US Agent. I didn't even get to Captain America yet. I think I only have Human Torch, Iceman, Daredevil, Bullseye, and Ant-Man. And I do really want to get Elektra. I'm going to kick myself if I don't get Elektra before she's hard to find.
Yeah, I have actually seen Series 1 back out.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I've seen more of those again. Was Electro in that wave too? Or no, the Black Panther is the one I've been seeing again.
Yeah, that's
people already have it, so like he's on the shelves now.
Yep. Yeah, Electro, Black Panther, Captain America, and Spider-Man.
Okay. See, I didn't find Spider-Man, and I had that value one I got from Walgreens that I really like, and he looks good next to him, and I was like, is this good enough? So I'm still deciding. I think if I find that Spider-Man again, though, I'll grab it.
And this new wave has Black Suit Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Yeah. No, that line's great. That line is like, I think it's one of the best things in the past few years, and the love is there. And what's his name? Steve Evans. I don't know. I forget his name. From Hasbro, who used to work on Star Wars. He got switched over to Marvel, and like he's really had that's like been his baby, and you could tell how passionate he is about it.
Yep, him and both him and Ryan Ting are very 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 passionate about that line.
It's cool, and you could tell it shines through in the end result. Like they're really just really really good, all of them.
So
they're really cool.
I was gonna say from junk food and pop punk bands and toys. Let's go back into the ring for a little bit.
Okay.
Can you talk to us about Raise the Bar?
Yeah, a lot has changed in independent wrestling. Ideally, steps towards a better culture for everyone involved, but specifically for women and just making wrestling better. And a lot of people are now out of the way, and we can do that. And that's what I hope for Raise the Bar to be, a safe, inclusive place for all types. Talent comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes, colors, creeds. And, it was important to me to fill the void of a company that was really did focus on the local talent. I care about my scene. It's where I work. I want it to be good. I want it to be fun, and I want it to be profitable for everybody. So just focusing on inclusion and keeping the riffraff away. Like, I mean, anyone who's worked with me knows me. I'm not afraid to be loud about something I'm passionate about. And if I thought somebody didn't deserve to be a part of our show, I would let them know real fast. It's not just me. I've got a great team, Mike and John, and we've the roster. Like, everybody's on board. Everybody believes in it, and there's just a void that needed to be filled, and it felt like nobody was going to do it. And so a few of us got together and like, look, somebody's got to do something, because there's way too many good wrestlers here that deserve opportunities to wrestle, and to wrestle the people that are going to get them better and be exciting for them. You can't just wrestle. I mean, obviously we can wrestle our buddies 5 nights a week and twice on Sunday, and we would have a good time, but that's not going to get you to progress as a wrestler. So, main focus of the company is inclusion and pushing our local talents to be the best they can be against, guest wrestlers from other places. We've got AJ Gray coming in to take on Watts. I was thinking of Lee Moriarty taking on Adrian Quest. So we've got some really exciting guests. We have PP Ray decided to reunite again. Peter squeezed himself into my tag match with the Wolf Zaddies, and that's fine. We could just beat them both. But it's exciting because if you look at that roster, it's really it was the heart and soul of a company that no longer exists. It was the guys that were really grinding to do their best and hang with the best when they were in town and on the show too. I mean, that company gave me a lot of good opportunities. Watness got to wrestle SCU. I got to finally get in the ring with Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, which are two guys I've looked up to since I discovered independent wrestling. So, that company gave a lot of people opportunities others wouldn't, and then it was gone in a flash, and rightfully so. It needed to go, but something needed to replace it. And that's what I hope Raise the Bar can be. And I hope the fans, all I can do is hope they trust us in our mission to put on great wrestling that is safe and fun for everybody.
Yeah, and the roster is fantastic. Just looking at the different matches, like, it's all stuff that I'm very excited to watch, which makes me ask, how can we see it?
So this first show, we're waiting to announce how you all can see it, but we're working towards streaming our shows in the future, but they'll be available on demand most likely. We're still playing with there's a lot of options nowadays. There didn't used to be. It was either you made DVDs or you tried to get it up on the High Spots network, but there's a lot more avenues we can go nowadays. So we're still working on what. But as soon on the night of the 14th, we're going to announce how people can watch that show once it's done. So, because it'll have to be a post one. We're not going to live stream this first event. It's baby steps for us to truly grow into what we want to be. We don't want to jump in the deep end without focusing on the core things first, and that was putting together the right team, the right roster with the right venues, and the right night. Thursday nights. The whole point of that is to that's a night you're probably not going to wrestle. So it's a night to make extra money and not maybe make you have to pick and choose between a really good Friday opportunity somewhere else and an opportunity that's close to home. I don't want the talent to have to pick and choose. I hated that. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood was really tough because, I'm trying to get these guys to get to the show on a Sunday, even though they have, a really good booking, 3 states away on Saturday. It makes it tough. It sucked. There was always conflicts and it was really frustrating. And Thursdays just make it easy on the talent, easy on the promoter. It's just a good way for everyone to get a little more work, a little more money on a night they normally wouldn't. And that's really important to me. And I don't, that's not really from a fan standpoint. Of course, they want us to succeed and be happy. But from a business standpoint, that's something that I think is really important, is that normally dark night being an opportunity to get out there and work.
So, just remind everybody. So, if you are in the Pomona area on October 14th, what time does the show start?
The show doors are at 7, bell is at 8. That way people have plenty of time to get done with work and still get out to Pomona, even if you're coming from LA, Orange County. Even from San Diego, it's about a 2-hour drive around that time of day, maybe a little more. So it's definitely going to be worth it to come out and see, the best in Southern California pro wrestling in a legendary venue. It's just going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. That show, it means a lot to me. And I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't nervous. But I'm excited. I'm really confident in my roster. I'm really confident in the matchups, and I'm confident in the SoCal fan base that they still love and they missed us from the pandemic. I hope they missed us as much as we missed them. I've done a couple shows around here lately, but this is going to be the first one like that. Where I really feel like I'm going to recognize all the faces in the crowd that I haven't seen since Bootleg Theater, last March.
And where can people get tickets?
On the Glass House's official website, all info for tickets. For those of you that do live in Southern California and want to attend the show live, just check out @RaiseTheBarCA on Instagram or Twitter. That'll have all the links to the ticket information.
So before we let you go, we do have a final question that we ask all of our guests. And
Yes.
This was something that was developed after you were on the first time. So you didn't get this question the first time you were on. But Dave, would you like to fulfill your role as this podcast's James Lipton and ask Yuma the final question?
Absolutely. So what is your favorite or strangest piece in your collection? It can be one of each, or it can be both.
Let's do one of each. I think one of my strangest is probably strange because of the way it came about, because a lot of people get autographs, but not like this. I have a Rex toy on the Power of the Jedi carding from 98 or 99 from the Star Tours ride, the original Captain Rex droid, and I have it signed by Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman.
Awesome.
And I got that because of David Arquette. So it's just like this crazy thing of me, like, even working with David Arquette, then to becoming friends with him and him saying like, hey, Pee-wee's coming to the show. Paul's coming to the show to watch my match with RJ. And I was like, oh my God, that's freaking nuts. And I was just like, and I was like, you know what? I'm not, who knows how many times I'm going to meet Paul Rubens. I've actually gotten to meet him see him a few times, and he actually remembered me. And the mullet made it easy, but but I was just like, do you think he'll sign my Star Wars toy of him? And he was just like, what? And it was kind of awkward. And he went, hell yeah, of course he would. Bring it. And I was like, all right, sick. So that same day, I got my Rex toy signed by Paul Rubens, and I got my Ready to Rumble signed by David. So that was a really cool
awesome.
day. That's probably my strangest. And what was the other one?
Your favorite.
My favorite toy in my collection? God, that's tough because there's some that my wife's bought for me that are really special. There's some that my Grammy bought for me, some that my parents, there's some that have a lot of sentimental behind them, just as much as like actual design and playability and the fun I had with them. But if we're talking about favorite toy, my favorite action figure of all time is the original Power of the Force, the 95 Power of the Force Boba Fett. That's my favorite action figure of all time. I took him on more adventures, more places than any other figure. He lived in my hand from 95 to probably 2000 when I started playing with wrestling toys a little more often. I always played with both. But yeah, for 5 years straight, that toy was in my hand at all times, and I still have it. I still have all his his original gun and everything. I can't remember which glove I have though. I think I have the full circle, not the half circle or the triangle.
I was gonna say, does he still have his antenna too?
Oh, of course, yeah. No, I was a boy that took care of his toys. The only one toy that I played with to death was my No Zone, my Toxic Crusaders No Zone. Grammy had to glue that wheel back on because it would always come out because it rotated as well as spun. Like it rotated at the leg, and it would always come out and break. And so she glued that back on. She had to jam his head back in. His goggles are missing because she didn't want to glue those because they were meant to, push down the slime. But like for the most part, yeah, like most of my like toys don't even have paint wear. And I played. I mean, I always played, but I played like I'm not gonna fuck these up. Like I love these.
Well, Yuma, thank you for taking the time to be on Adventures in Collecting again, to come back and and join us again. It was a pleasure having you, and we're really, really excited. We get super excited anytime we get an opportunity, from afar, unfortunately, to see you in the ring. So we're really excited for Raise the Bar, and it was awesome getting to see you on NWA, and it's we're really excited for you, man.
I appreciate that, guys. It's so weird how wrestling has made me connected. Wrestling and wrestling toys specifically, like through message boards, have connected me with people all across the country. And now, like, thanks to, I love Instagram because we all just post pictures of our toys and then talk to each other about them. And so it's just nice how it's like one of the few real positives of social media is the connections that I've been able to make with people all the way across the country. And actually getting to meet Dave, after talking online like a bunch and then meeting him. And so it's really cool, and I appreciate you guys supporting me. And I can't wait to get up to the Northeast to wrestle again. And you'll be seeing a lot of me on NWA actually the next few weeks.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, Captain Yuma had quite a few missions on this past St. Louis set, and I'll actually be in action in Kentucky on Sunday, October the 24th with Tried and True and NWA's co-event.
Very cool. We look forward to all that, man.
Yeah, that's a new state for me, so I'm excited. And Rocknest should have a couple new states added in early 2022. Things have been slow. Things have been heartbreaking and frustrating, but they're finally feeling back on track. The NWA and Raise the Bar have really helped rejuvenate my love of wrestling. Things that happened before the pandemic made me really question being involved at all. The pandemic didn't help that, but, support from friends like you guys, like from all the way across the damn country, still supporting me. Like that makes me want to keep going. I really mean that. Like I just can't give up. Too many people still believe in me for me to give up. So let me know when you guys want to fucking stop so I can quit.
Thank you, dear listener, for hanging out with us today. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen, and then tell your friends to do it. Thanks also to Joe Azari, the golden voice behind our intro. Our music is Game Boy Horror by the Zombie Dandies. Find more about them both in our show notes.
Follow us on social media at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Stop by and say hi, show us your toy hauls, and share your toy stories. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future episode.
Don't try this at home. Void where prohibited and some assembly required. Each sold separately, not a flying toy. Consult a physician if your toy run exceeds more than 4 hours.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.